is Tom Latham.
Tom Latham makes his way, experienced player, over 100 matches, good average, 600s, good strike rate. New Zealand need him now. He needs to develop a partnership. And he's out in the middle because of Daryl Mitchell. Just offered a touch, and that extra pace means it goes square. Hoden was behind point. Mitchell's trying to hit it in front, just sliced off behind. Good piece of captaincy, nice piece of bowling.
Well, the weight just sits back, just waiting. Chance it's going to be short. Just hanging back, give yourself a little bit more time. And that just pulls you off the ball. And normally you're climbing into it. It's a piece of pace. You get a clean strike. Much straighter cover area. So yep, a little bit of just hanging back, a little bit of fine bowling. It's the first one that's been fractionally wider. Good use of pace.
Hard to get that weight going forward, isn't it? Through the shot when it's coming down at 145 clicks. Good piece of captaincy too from Shikadawan, had his fielder in the right position. Another successful over, 20 gone, 88 for 3.
I listened to ODI hours just last week, and you won't need help. I was listening to a podcast at my grandma's funeral.
Are you a party extreme seriously addicted podcasts on Robot? Download now from your App Store.
Starts, 3 players. New Zealand captain still out in the middle, needs to go on. They're going to chase down this total above 300.
It's been a good mix. The guile of Chahal, the pace of Malik.
Come on, lads!
Providing a real challenge for New Zealand. You're going to chase a big score. You've got to have partnerships of substance. Keep losing wickets, which is what India are after.
It's been a good bowling partnership, isn't it? These two, Malik and Chahal. Chahal was expensive in his first over, and you wondered whether he would get a second over or whether Shikadawan might have said, have a wee break, I'll go to someone else, but he's continued with them, and he's been rewarded with this partnership. What a one-day international debut for this man. Picked up 2 key wickets. He's doing a tremendous job with the ball.
Sometimes when you only have the 5 bowlers, the bowler takes the responsibility to find a way rather than getting tapped out. You've got to carry on. You find your way. He's a quality bowler. He really is. So you find the way to create some pressure, and he's done it quickly.
There's some turn there. That was slower, and it actually gripped. It's probably the biggest amount of turn we've seen today. Maybe straight out of one of the footmarks there. Using those footies to his advantage. Flatter and quicker.
No doubt, much more difficult game for left-handers, Mecca.
Which way did you bet?
Right-handed at times, it felt like. But just one of the challenges for Tom Latham. Chahal will be aiming for that area where there's been a bit of traffic.
Goes straight. Latham on the sweep. Such a strong shot for him. And it's a nice way to get underway with the boundary. Too straight from Chahal, he got punished.
It's a poor delivery. A bit of activity outside of stump. He's gone for the big googly. Easy for Latham. It was a poor line. Oh, it was just a leggy. It was a really bad ball. Gave him credit for trying the googly, but just the leggy. Bad ball.
End of the over, 21 bowled. New Zealand 93 for 3.
BLACKCAPS 93 for 3, and the vibe is high out here in this Eastern stand. Kiwi fans going bananas, Indian fans going bananas.
93 for 3, New Zealand. And yet chipping away, New Zealand needing 214 more runs at 7.38. An excellent spell from Umran Malik on debut comes to an end. Washington Sundar is going to take up the attack.
Hasn't it been great? Hasn't Malik been great on debut? As is Archdeep today, although we've seen plenty of them in T20 cricket, Bondi, but what a start for the young tearaway. A lot on his shoulders right now, Kane Williamson. 6.14 the starting ask rate for this chase, Bondi, up to 7.38. Team on team, the comparison isn't a lot different. New Zealand have lost 3 wickets. India at the same stage were without loss. Although in a few hours' time they'd lose their openers. So it feels like the game is just delicately balanced here. But someone needs to stand up, and I suspect it's going to be one of these two. It's edgy, but it's through. Should race away to the boundary. It's a good chase, though. Gee, that's good work. Chahal's just finished his over, and he saved a couple there for sure.
We've seen Washington Sundar get a little bit of turn and grip, and the same again. The slips in play. Latham gets a little bit lucky. Again, Washington Sundar into the attack straight onto that perfect line and length.
Just a wee balk there from Sundar. Latham ever watchful. I know it's just the nature of the cricket season these days, Bonnie, but it feels like an age since we've seen Latham in New Zealand colours.
Yeah, he's turned out for a lot of cricket for Canterbury, who've started strongly in the domestic competition, so it's not like he hasn't had cricket. To be fair, he's come in pretty good touch, so he's had a lot of cricket. I suppose that's the nature of international cricket now. So many different players across different formats, different teams. India's case in point. That's why the Indian selectors got sacked the other day. I mean, when you see the depth of talent, Umran Malik's come in, he's making the problem even worse.
Tight over this from Washi. One to get out of the set here. Latham on strike. And can't do much with that. That's a fine over. Just 3 runs from it. 96 for 3. Mongafo, Mount Eden in the background. Just on the right of your screen at the top there is One Tree Hill, Maungakeke. Eden Park tonight. Looks a picture. It's been a blustery, gustery day here in Auckland, but fortunately, so far so good on the rain front. Malik 2 for 19 on debut. Williamson hasn't quite found the fluidity in his game tonight. That's off the hip though. Quintessential Williamson shot. Just the single in it.
Yeah, to be fair, New Zealand batsmen haven't been allowed to. Such has been the discipline of the Indian bowlers. They've been attacking at stumps. We've rarely seen a full ball that's got driven down the ground at all. And so it has been heavy going, and we've seen even when New Zealand were disciplined on that length, it was tough. Challenge for New Zealand. 3 wickets down, and the run rate 7.5. That's high, but it's a ground that you can chase on. The problem is there's still 210 runs. There's a lot of work to do, with only one really recognised batsman to come in, Glenn Phillips.
Deep point in place. Third man, fine leg, and that one flies off to third man. And a misfield. And the boundary. That is not the finest hour for Shuttle Thakur.
Third man for this man feels like almost like a fly slip. That's rocketed off the boundary. Second bounce is awkward, but Thakur, to be fair, should have done better. And in the end, suffered embarrassment.
Kneeled over that ball like Happy Gilmore. Why won't you go home? And a short ball. He's got spunk. He's just got attitude. He can wide that, but good statement. Why not? Got runs to play with.
Yeah, well, every time something hasn't gone wrong, he's followed up with the emotional bouncer. So it's probably a part of the learning curve. He was never going to have a go at his senior bowler down the other end who's misfielded, but he's clearly annoyed.
The emotional bouncer. Did you have the emotional bouncer, Bondi?
The emotional bouncer is not the one you want to bowl.
It's a good delivery, but it's a better shot. Just a touch too much width that time. Wasn't necessarily a bad ball. Latham just onto it quickly.
Yeah, that length that he's been hitting has just been dragged back and too much width. When you talk about emotion, that's when you can just lose a little bit of that accuracy. That's what it's done again. His mate's tried to redeem himself. No chance.
Is it time for the emotional Yorker?
Maybe.
Full of that time, Bondi. I like that.
Yeah, and you just saw the captain go over and have a word to this bowler. That's what part of the leadership is, understanding your players, getting them to that mindset where you're relaxed, clear about what you're doing. Because when you're under pressure or you're emotional, the clarity goes out the window and you end up bowling either on ego or because you're annoyed. The role of that captain's to get his bowler back to where he needs to be, and that's where Umran Malik's been for most of the night, and that's why he's got 2 for 29.
Good seed, that. And is that a lot? Is that why your skipper's standing there why he's fielding there? He just wants to be on the shoulder of a young man on debut.
Yeah, that's one of the challenges of having a captain who's a keeper, is you can lose that connection with your bowler. And you can see constantly Shikhar Dhawan's talking to his bowler. So if you have a captain who is the keeper, you often need a senior player who's standing there directing, or a player who understands his mate, knows when he's in that zone where you're sort of glazing over and the emotions taking over, you can get him back to where he needs to be.
Has a swipe at that one. It's not pretty for Tom Latham. End of the 23rd. 106 for 3. It's a lovely night here in the city of Sails. Tamaki Makaurau. Rangitoto out in the distance there in the Hauraki Gulf. Sky Tower. Yeah, talk about captains who spend a lot of time with their bowlers. Susie Bates comes to mind even when she's not captaining side. She likes to be there mid-off, mid-on, just to chat, calm. Sundar. Oh, he drew the false shot, no doubt about that. Williamson gets away with one.
Seen that a couple of times where Sundar again bowling the ball into the wicket. It just holds. Williamson just out in front. The timing's good enough just to chip it over that mid-wicket who's in saving one. Maybe a sign the skipper's in pretty good touch.
Well, he shakes his head, but he's probably thinking, if I'm going to have luck, I might as well have good luck.
Sundar's now 5 for 12, none for 13. Extraordinary.
finds the edge. I wonder now if, regardless of result today, New Zealand once again revised their bowling plans. India have come into this game with 2 spinners, one of whom has really shut down an end for this Indian side. Shahal there, the other. Sweep shot's on. He's so good at that shot. So good at that shot.
It's just again a miss on line. Washington Sundar's been attacking the stumps, but as soon as he's drifted into the leg stump, that becomes the opportunity for Latham to paddle him around the corner. Full extension, find the gap. Full value for run.
Plenty of revs on the ball, just no turn at all. Just kind of hit straight on. Dickie Bird's on 1 foot as we speak. 1-1-1 for 3. David Shepherd, should I say. Dickie Bird. Into the over. It's 1-1-1 for 3. Well, there's skyscrapers and then there's mid-level housing, and New Zealand's probably in the mid-level range at the moment. Might need to start building a few extra floors. India 1-2-4 for 1 at the same time, which you can revise to 1-4-2-4 for 2. Arshdeep Singh has been expensive, no doubt about that. Taking a liking to him, the Kiwis. Once again, you're thinking about timing an innings too, Bondi, and India scored 58 runs from the final 5 overs of their innings. So regardless of what we're looking at as comparisons at this point in the game, you do have to factor in the fact that New Zealand went for 10s in the dying stages.
And to be fair, you'd probably accept that on this ground. 50 out of 5, 12 and over. It's not too bad. I think they'll be most disappointed that Washington Sundar did 36 runs, I think 15 balls. He did so much damage in a short space of time.
Yeah, and backing it up with the ball. None for 17 or 6 overs. Arshdeep at the moment has got Williamson tied up in knots.
It's a bit of a change of plan for Arshdeep. There wasn't as much swing as what we saw in the T20 series, where he was almost like a video game, wasn't he? He was away and in. It was unbelievable. Here, not so much swing tonight, so he's automatically made that adjustment. He doesn't want to give width, so he's round the wicket attacking the stumps, which has been a theme for the Indian bowlers.
We were talking just next door, Bondi, about the size of Arshdeep Singh as well. You were saying he's bulked up quite substantially from where he was. Just played away on the leg side for a single. Why is that important for someone like Singh to put on that bulk as his career develops?
Yeah, I mean, all the Indian players play 12 months of cricket. If they're not playing here on the international circuit, they're playing domestic cricket. There are leagues that run all the way through India. So that you have to have that strength, that base of strength. And Arshdeep's been around now the IPL for 2 or 3 years. When he came in, he was very skinny. Always had an amazing temperament. But the skill with the swing, that's really improved over the last couple of years. But that size, that muscle mass, that strength you can see in him, and that'll help his longevity long term. And you hear the New Zealand bowlers talk about the work they do with Chris Donaldson, the strength they have. Even though they're muscular and lean, they're very, very strong.
It's full and straight. Not much Latham could do with that.
I remember playing where you would doing weights would make you stiff for 2 or 3 days, so you almost avoid them, whereas now it's just part of the usual package. The guys go and they'll lift 1 or 2 reps, they'll try and maintain that strength all year round because they have to. There are no breaks in the circuit.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, Bondi, and say gym wasn't your favourite part of the training week. Nice again.
I think it just wasn't done to the same extent that it's done now, so it was almost a prioritisation. I need to work on my aerobic fitness because I'm not that strong, and the gym sat down the pecking order, whereas I think now in hindsight you would have done more, where I think the modern player, the strength has just done so much more because they play so much more, and they understand that for the length of career you need to be strong and maintain that strength 12 months.
I have a supplementary question on that for you, Bondi, in a moment's time. Here's Ashdeep to finish the over. Oh, lovely. Soft hands, played late, beautifully fielded in the deep. That is great work from Sundar. He's having a day out today here at Eden Park. 115 for 3.
The BLACKCAPS 115 for 3. Now sometimes when this crosses half, the DJ play a song, but now I'm asking our G to play a song. Play a song, brother.
We're back at Eden Park. Latham on 19, Williamson on 36. Shane Bond, you were just talking about the rigours and the demands on the players these days and how that gym work is now just part and parcel of what's going on. Would that have, do you think that would have aided your career if that was a part and parcel of that modern sports science, or how it's become modernised, would have helped you in your longevity in the game? Sundar again, cutaway.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I was injured a lot. I think there's a few things that I think I'm learning now. Go through coaching, is that you don't really want to stop bowling. Like as soon as you stop and have 1 or 2 months off, it just takes so long to get back into it. So you see that often bowlers pick up injuries when they've had a break, or when they come out of a T20 format and have to go into test matches. So how you look after that's really important. I think fitness in general and the way it's done, tools it's monitored, are just light years ahead of where it was in my day.
Oh, confusion. Latham back. Call came strong enough. Late call, but loud. Williamson turned Latham around.
I find warm-ups interesting now. There are bands, and India has hurdles. There's all sorts of rolling devices. There was none of that sort of stuff. You just ran around the pitch and sort of stretched.
You missed our warm-up. You missed our commentary team warm-up. It was noted, Bondi. Oh, well. That has gone a long way back. Kane Williamson gets hitting.
Yeah, Washington Sundar, he's been bowling so straight, and he's just offered Williamson up. A little bit of flight, and B, some width, and Williamson, well, he's taken full toll. An easy swing of the bat. That's a long way back.
Just back into the crease there and turned it round the corner. It's a nice shot from Williamson. For those of us who have enjoyed watching Williamson and have seen him in full flight, and he's at the top of his game, Bondi, it's shots like that he makes look so effortless.
Yeah, I think when you look at Kane, you look at him now, he's 43 off 49, strike rate just under 90, and it's effortless. That's Kane Williamson at his best. It's almost death by 1,000 cuts. He just goes about his work, scores so fast, and you look up and he's on 43.
Nicely played. Single to finish the over. It's 1-2-4 for 3. Tom Latham in vision, Kane Williamson at the other end, 43 from 49. It feels sometimes that the proportion of shots Kane plays that look awkward has maybe gone up slightly in the last couple of years. The balls that hurry him up, but with every time he strikes it in the middle, no run there. You feel he's, at some point, it's all going to click again, every part of his game. And the parts of his game that have come back since that elbow injury, since he's been back in this New Zealand setup, are fantastic. But the complete Kane Williamson is a joy to behold.
Yeah, I think you can't underestimate the impact of that injury. It had some time out of the game. I think you saw the same a little bit with Virat Kohli. It was a long time between hundreds. David Warner, it was a long time between hundreds. Even Steve Smith has struggled at times with being not playing a format, being out for a period of time. So the great players can have periods where, you know, it's tough because, you know, the bowlers are improving, they're spending more time looking at it. It doesn't take away the fact that they're great. It's human.
I like this line to Latham. Arshdeep finished his last over right on the spot here, and he's back into it.
Yeah, his left arm angling back into giving Latham no width is a good one, because Latham likes to score behind point off the offside, and if Arshdeep stays in, angling into that middle and off stump makes it very, very difficult. He could try and pick him up, but it's over a big boundary, and we know there's some steep bounce.
Nicely played. They'll look for a couple. Latham was interested, so was Williams, and suddenly they realised that was all sorts of trouble. Well, Bondi, you've noticed the lengths of the bowlers here, the Indian seamers in particular, and Arshdeep has looked to be the fullest of all.
Yeah, that's because he looks to swing the ball, so he wants to get that movement off the seam. Umran Malik, particularly being the first change bowler, generally not so much swing and using his pace, being in, and Shardul Thakur at 6.72. That's why he was so tough to hit. He couldn't drive, but that little bit of movement created all sorts of problems, particularly for Finn Allen.
It's working for Malik, that length. It is quite short. And we talked at the start of the game during your pitch report about that 7-metre length. Is there a case maybe for Malik just to bring that up a little? Arshdeep again. Around the wicket to Williamson.
The thing you talk to your bowlers, I always talk to the bowlers, you know, 7 metres in sort of T20 cricket, 6 perhaps in test matches, because you're never going to hit it all the time, and it gives you that sort of margin for error. If I miss it 6 or 8, I'm sort of in the right zone. But if I look to hit 6 or 5 and I go full, I'm going to get whacked back over my head. So you'll understand, you'll see the pitch maps, and they're not just on one little piece of paper, they're sort of spread out. So you're giving yourself that margin for error. If I aim for 7 and I hit 8 or 6, then on a wicket like this, I'm in a really good spot.
It's quite an interesting way of thinking, isn't it? Because you're not actually seeking perfection, you're seeking safety.
Yeah, I think it's impossible to be perfect. You know, there's always a margin for error in anything you do. Ironically, when the most pressure comes on and you're looking to hit a Yorker, you have to be perfect. That's the irony. But at a length, you know, the natural variation, you can just get one that's a slight fuller, and that's the one that creates a little bit of doubt. So there are, as long as you're in an area that the batsman can't drive and you don't give them width, and they're always making decisions, eventually they'll either do something wrong or you'll bowl a ball that hopefully has their number on it.
Again, just angling in, Arshdeep. It's a great delivery for him to right-handers and left. That's the end of the 27th. It's 1-2-8 for 3. That's the match situation as it stands. 306 India scored in their batting innings. Iyer with 80 top scoring. Darwan 72, Shubman 50. And Washington Sunder's 37 not out of 16 was a sight to behold, that's for sure. Best of the bowlers, Ferguson. Southey expensive, but also claimed another 3 wickets, included in that is 200th ODI wicket for New Zealand. Williamson on 45 not out. It's Charles back into the attack. Straight onto the toe. I'm sure he's happy that was off a leg spinner rather than a seamer.
Excellent start. Quick, almost like a front of the handball. It skidded on. Slider. Almost did Williamson for pace there.
He's wily, isn't he, Charles? You just know that it might be taking him for a few runs, but he's got so many aces up the sleeve.
Very smart. Apparently an outstanding chess player.
He looks like a chess player. Saw him roll into the Koru Lounge the other day. I wouldn't take him on. He looks bookish. That's what I'd say about Chahal.
This came Williamson's 3,000th run in ODIs in New Zealand. The 5th New Zealander to reach that feat behind the household names Guptill, Taylor, Astle and McCullum.
The milestones keep coming, don't they? What a career it's been. Goodness me. You feel he's got to be there, don't you, Shane? At the end, you feel you have to. It should be wide it is. If New Zealand are a chance here, you want one of these two, preferably the captain, to have just one of those special knocks tonight. That's nice. Innovative, inventive. Everything that's a joy to watch about Tom Latham. Onto it quickly, picked up the line and dispatched through 2 fielders for 4.
New Zealand need to put some pressure on Chahal. He's only into his 5th over. Already going at 7 runs per over, but you still have to execute. It's pure skill from Tom Latham.
Gee, thread the needle on that too. Forwards. Chahal saw him coming.
He's got a lovely ability to slow the ball up, which takes some courage when it's so short back behind you. And that's his go-to when he's under pressure. He slows the ball down, gets the dip and turn.
It's a nice battle, this. Latham is looking to create something, looking to put the bowler under the pressure. And he's returning serve here, Chahal. Good turn to finish the over. 28 gone, 134 for 3. Time for a change upstairs. Mark Richardson, pick up for you.
Charlotte Takua, who swung the ball in those first 5 overs and swung it a lot, was very impressive. Bowled a very good probing line and length. Swung the ball both ways, predominantly away from the right-hander. Ball's a little bit older now, so shouldn't get the swing. Too short. Williamson's placed him beautifully behind square. And that'll be 50 for Kane Williamson. It's been a fighting knock. It hasn't been easy, but he's hung in there. And now he's starting to find some flow.
40 or 50 for the New Zealand skipper. He's looked a lot more comfortable tonight in this one-day international format, where he can just take his time, get into his work. The timing's starting to come, which is good for New Zealand. Too short. Raise of the bat, job half done.
Oh, now clever little one, but third man is very fine. You got to make up your mind at this ground. Do you have third man and fine league very fine, so you try to stop those fine ones? Or do you think, well, they're going for 4 anyway, and we'd rather maybe cut down on runs by having them slightly squarer for the ones that go a lot squarer? I definitely think you should be fielding fine.
First 50 in international cricket since the 2019 World Cup, the semi-final versus India at Manchester. Only played the 7 matches in those 3 years. It's been a lack of cricket.
Fires away over the top, a little bit of luck and a desperate dive, but it's 4 all the same. You need that in this situation just to get things moving, and all of a sudden he was so tight. Takua, he's come back and he's leaking.
Gonna flash hard, and that's exactly what Latham did. Up and over slip, raced away quick enough to beat third as well. No half measure there, a little bit of width, that's what he went after. Far too wide, and Latham didn't miss out. Put your hands on top of your head, but it wasn't a great delivery.
Well, he's been too short with these 3 balls. Needs to find that fuller length again. And that's a good length there. I don't think you can underestimate the foil here that Latham has played, and the pressure that I think Latham with this 30 has taken off Williamson.
The impressive thing is he's striking at 88, so he's wasted no time. That's why he's so important in this New Zealand middle order, because he has the ability to score quickly, to rotate the strike and form partnerships. He's come into the series in good form, provincially playing well for Canterbury, a couple of scores under his belt. So he scored runs domestically. Key member of this New Zealand side. Know that he has the ability to bat deep. If he can do that, then New Zealand have a chance.
Nice chance to get that one away. Can't place it. 143 for 3.
The BLACKCAPS 143 for 3, and in that over a notable moment with captain Kane Williamson scoring 50 runs. Eden Park giving up for Kane's leadership. Williamson.
See the left turn there of the New Zealand worm. It's gaining parity with the Indian worm. You got to factor in the very, very good finish to the innings that India had.
Yeah, 58 from the final 5 overs. 80 off the last 7 that India were able to get. So New Zealand are going to have to do something similar. That lower order is going to have a job to do, Rig.
Sweat that well. That was a little undercutter, I think. It was designed to keep a little low. So it was watch that like a hawk, Latham. Yeah, just have a look at that. The Manhattans towards the end. That was Washington Sundar, Shreyas Iyer. New Zealand has some really good hitters in their middle order. The job of Williamson and Latham here is to work New Zealand in a situation over the last, let's say, 10 overs where only one of those hitters really needs to come off. If this partnership is broken in the next few overs, then you get into a scenario where you need that middle, maybe 2 of them to really stand up.
Yeah, it's interesting. You look at the Indian batting innings, 172 runs were scored from boundaries in their innings. 28 fours, 10 sixes. At the moment for New Zealand, just 78 runs.
Chance to go square, but picks out deep square. Who watches it? Treated it like the ball was a hand grenade, but maybe coughs up an extra run.
So the likes of Mitchell Santner, who's batting at 7, which some might say is a touch high. Adam Milne at 8. They're going to have a job to do. It's never nice when the ball's coming that quickly and you know it's going to spin. Reverse.
I really don't think I've seen Latham play so many of those reverse shots.
I think he's finding it difficult to hit the ball down the ground. I've got a question for you, Mark. Have you been surprised at how much the ball was turned in the second innings?
Yeah, there is a good carpet of grass. .30 gone, 150 up for New Zealand.
For the BLACKCAPS, 150 for 3, 13 overs, complete, 20 to come. Who is winning this one? Eden Park, is it India? Or is it the
Interesting that after 30 overs, New Zealand are ahead of where India were at the same stage. New Zealand 150 for 3, India were 144 for 2. So 1 wicket, the good, but New Zealand 6 runs ahead. This game is neck and neck. 20 overs left, it turns into a T20 game now, Mark. That's how quite often the players will look at the final 20 overs. Requirements 157 from the final 20 overs. In a T20 match, you'd say, yeah, we'll do that easy, comfortably. That's how you have to look at it.
Good fighting knock from the New Zealand skipper Kane Williamson. Had to work really hard early on, struggled to get off the mark. He's found some flow in his game a little bit later on. He's needed to find the fence. He has done so.
Yeah, 8 balls to get off the mark. It's all coming back to the New Zealand captain. Good play all around the wicket. Strong on the leg side. He hasn't been able to get as many balls as what he normally does down through that backward point, third region. 1-6 down the ground. He's worked hard for his runs tonight.
Oh, that's left. But an uneven bounce there. And of course saw Williamson shuffling down the wicket, but this is reared up. It's not that short, and that has really climbed.
It's that tennis ball bounce. Sometimes you get at Eden Park. where it just sits in the surface and just rises off a length.
Well, that's why I think it's spinning, because there is that carpet of grass and it's grabby. You talk about players work it into a T20 scenario, and I think you're dead right, and I think that is illustrated by the different run graphs nowadays. In the old days, you used to generate a run rate, and then it would come down, you consolidate, and then you try to accelerate at the end. Now it's just an even climb.
Yeah, I think the other thing about it is that whenever you're chasing something above 300, it seems a long way off. You have to break it down into certain areas. And if you can turn it into a T20 game now, and the total at 30 overs at New Zealand Air was 157 with 7 wickets in hand, you'd expect to win 8 out of 10 T20 matches with those numbers in your favour. And that doesn't freak you out. If you're having to score 180 or 190 off those final 20 overs, that's a bit more difficult. So New Zealand are still in a very strong position here, and that's how they should look at it. But with the amount of T20 cricket being played around the world, I know that that's how the players do look at things. Let's get to that 30 over mark, see what we require from the final 20 overs and break it down. How achievable is it going to be? This partnership's been key.
Only difference is you don't start with 10 wickets. You start with how many you got left at the time. Oh, that's a beauty for Williamson. He smashed that. Great finish to the over. 156 for 3.
Well, they were 146 for 2. The BLACKCAPS 156 for 3. And there's points.
Oh, he crunched this, touch short again, cross seamer. He's starting to see that ball bigger and bigger, and it's starting to find the middle of his bat, which will be a real concern for India.
Very, very full. Maybe outside the line of leg stump. Chris Gaffney's unmoved. Very full. How straight? Straight enough, they think.
TV umpire director, we have a player review from LBW. On-field decision is not out. Check the front foot, and it's a fair giveaway. Can we start the front line, please? Okay, it doesn't appear to be that involved. I'll just want to check all treats to confirm, please. Thank you. Stand by for all treats, Chris. Ultridge coming up. 1 3. The gaps goes under the bat. Thank you on a flat line. Clearly no bat involved. Go through the ball tracking when ready, please. Okay, ball's pitching outside leg. Chris, you'll be staying with your original not out decision. Stand by. You're on screen. Signal now.
Good decision from umpire Gaffney, but it was pretty close.
Miles outside leg. It always looked outside leg.
It wasn't. Well, it was about half a ball outside leg.
You just know. You just got a feeling. Your eyes are going. That's why you couldn't see it. That's nice. Nice piece of timing. The placement, exquisite. It's starting to come back. This is encouraging for the New Zealand skipper. He's finding some touch here that's been missing for some time. Look at that. Beautifully played. Good use of the crease.
And the rate required under 8s. Now over 20 overs, that's not an issue. Especially with 7 wickets in the bank.
New Zealand will want, if we look ahead, we used to have targets at 40 over mark. They'll want to be no more than 4 down. They want 6 wickets in the shed for the final 10 overs, and then they've got a good show. Ideally, they'd love these 2 players to be there at 40 overs, then they're in a strong position.
Oh, he came down. Chahal saw him, threw it wider. Williamson had to reach. He could pick up 4 as well. No, good effort out there. And they'll pick up 3.
Clever piece of bowling that goes unrewarded. Saw Williamson coming, so went wider. Tried to go over cover and just sliced it over backward point. Good piece of fielding in the end. Good commitment.
Maybe an element of panic, I think. It spun too.
That's that term we're talking about, Rigger. Slower and wider, and it really gripped.
Now, interested again, Chahal. Yeah, I think Williamson, he would have thought, oh, and had to reach all of a sudden. Would have been an element of fright there. Chahal liked this one. I think this, again, is relatively close. But they won't gamble.
I think Shikhar Dhawan's working out his bowlers. He's just trying to work how many overs are left. Who's going to bowl from which end?
Oh, it's delicate. No run, though. 32 gone, 163 for 3. And it looks like it is time for a Powerade drinks break.
Time now for the drinks break, as it's 163 for 3, and the completion of 32 overs. The BLACKCAPS ride 144 runs off these last 18 overs. It is the Powerade drinks break, and I can see some people in the stands have been hydrating. Morale is through the roof, so we might capitalise on that morale by joining in and giving everybody a lead part to Fritz the Larynxes and join us in a song. So DJ, you wouldn't mind playing something we all know, and let's hear you singing it, Eden Park.
Williamson 64 from 67, and Latham, this is a really good partnership. Latham 36 from 43, doing a fine job. Power to come, Phillips and Santner. Then it's into the bowlers. They've been good with the ball, India. They've got some swing, some sideways movement. That was the wicket of Finn Allen, just a little poke outside of stump and a fine edge, and he had to go.
To go was Conway, flashed hard. First wicket for Mullock, bowled with real fire and pace. No control in the shot from Devon Conway, thin edge. And he had number 1 on debut.
Just shot was on, I thought, for Mitchell. Just had to reach a little bit and hit at the toe end of the bat, right down the bottom. And that's why it skewed off behind point. Well, the heat's coming back. Imran Malik looking to break this partnership here. Shikadawan. I would be tempted to give Chahal maybe a rest as well, perhaps one more heat. To me, I'd love to have Chahal up my sleeve if they can actually make a breakthrough here and bowl them at a new player.
Yeah, leg spinner to that lower order always works, doesn't it? Difficult to come in when the ball's turning. I don't mind that technical thought, Rick. Guessing this is going to be a 2-over spell here. It's bowled 6, probably 2. We'll come back at the death for another 2. So how do New Zealand go about this 2-over spell?
Your last 4 overs of the innings are likely to be bowled by Ashdeep, who was very good at the death in the T20 in Napier. And this fella here, I would expect. Big call in his ODI debut, though. If the game gets close.
Yeah, it is. Sort of thrown in the deep end. Here's the ball, lad. Away you go. Even Arshdeep Singh, who's we've seen in a number of T20s, this is his first one-day international as well.
2 debutants bowling
at the death at Eden Park.
Good luck at White Hot Cauldron. Good timing. That is brilliant. He's so strong on the cut shot. Tom Latham.
Skillful shot, great use of pace, too wide. Just allowed it to come and played it nice and late behind point. Didn't try and hit it, just tried to place it. Bet that man at point and it raced away for 4. That is a skillful shot.
It's width on this ground that will kill you. On this pitch, which has a high bounce, you've got to keep it in tight. Oh, wow, that's 2 leg side though, and that's just helped on its way from Latham. He goes bang, bang, and now all of a sudden, the worm has turned and New Zealand working themselves into a position of strength.
Got the length wrong. Great use of the pace again, just helped it on his way, got inside it, flicked it up into the stand. Excellent from Latham, and now the young fella's under pressure, getting some support and advice from his fast bowling pal. This is good from Latham, good from New Zealand. Shikadawan in there again, offering some advice. First spell was excellent. This is going to be a test, the second spell.
Goes to the Yorker and it's a ripper straight through.
I think it surprised Latham just a touch. Perfect execution. It's as good as a Yorker gets. But it was almost through him before he got the bat down.
Well, I like it under pressure. Goes for the Yorker. It's a little show of mental strength, aggression, back himself to find that block hole. He's not going to back off. Tries it again. Latham's looking a good touch now. Wasn't quite full enough, and the left hand is able to nudge it through the onside. Classic left-hander's shot.
Nice balance from Latham, just to stand up and pick the gap at mid-wicket. Nice bit of timing. Almost going for the Yorker again, I think, Malik. Just missed a touch.
Oh, misfield now. Is there a few nerves out there? Players getting a bit rattled. Pressure starting to tell. 175 for 3. 75 for 3. It's amazing. It only takes a few overs of batting at this stage, and you start to see momentum shifts.
Big shift as Washington and Sunderland comes back into the attack. India at the same stage were 160 for 4. So they'd lost an extra wicket and were 15 runs shy. Remembering that they finished very strong in the last 7 or 8 overs. But New Zealand have their noses in front now. So these next 5 or 6 overs are crucial. Keep trying to push ahead of India, get in a strong position.
Too short. Williamson picks out mid-wicket. Well, it's Washington Sundar who's very, very quick. 30 is what got India over 300. Took them. I think they gave them a chance to go from 280 to 300. Now he's got 3 overs to bowl. He turned the innings with the bat right at the end. Can he turn this with the ball? The issue he's got is he's bowling to 2 very, very good players of slow bowling.
It's become easier the last 4 or 5 overs to rotate the strike, hasn't it? It's the advantage of having a left and right hand combination as well. Difficult for the bowler to get their lines right. Only you have to slightly ear and it gets picked off.
The other thing with these two, Williamson and Latham, ton of experience, both captains, both very, very good thinkers under pressure. Takes one down the ground, an easy single, and that brings up 50 for Tom Latham. It's been a very, very good knock. 50 from 51. He's pretty much scored a run of ball since the minute he's got out there. He's taken so much pressure off the shoulders of his skipper, Kane Williamson. Playing a fine innings.
19th ODI 50 for Tom Latham. Doing a great job. Big partnership with the skipper. It's been a classy knock.
Communication, pinch one at the end. 34 gone, 180 for 3. Dawan is staying with his plan. As Latham scoring areas, and see he's been very, very good working the ball behind square, especially off the slower bowlers. Continuing.
India need a wicket. They need to break this partnership. The skipper knows that. Going through his different bowlers, all of a sudden the game changes. You get that breakthrough. New batter comes to the middle, has to start. Just one wicket and all of a sudden India will feel like they're back on top. This partnership's 93 from 88. I've seen a slow ball really from Malik yet. It's just all been about pace. It's played nicely right from the start. Tom Latham got underway with a hard sweep shot that raced away. It's a shot he plays really well. Even pulled out the reverse a couple of times as well. Flashed hard, which is a good way to play here at Eden Park. Use the length and the pace of Mullock. Done an excellent job.
Williamson scampers through. Good work. Good communication from these two.
That's good, Rick, because it also takes energy out of the bowler. Bowler has to scamper down the other end, so all of a sudden it's taking some more energy out of his stocks. Young guy on debut. Getting towards the end of the spell. This is his 8th over. Probably be the last in the spell. He'll have 2 at the end when it's high pressure, the game's on the line.
Making the bowler run like that to field the ball, I'm with you there, Mac. And one thing that annoys me is, because they're so nice nowadays, cricketers, aren't they? Spirit of Cricket Award, they're all
Not
after.
all of them.
But it's the one, you hit it on the ground, it's down by your feet, and the batter picks it up and throws it back to the bowler. No, make the bowler pick it up.
Well, it's just a no-no. You're there to bat, not field. You've already done your fielding for 50 overs. Why do you want to make it easier for the opposition by picking up the ball and throwing it back to him?
Oh, we're on the same page, me and you.
Yeah, we're a minority, to be fair, I think, in this day and age.
Well, we don't have many friends. Oh, now. Well, I thought there was a little outside edge on that. Be interesting to see how Arshdeep goes at the death too. He's a key bowler in this outfit. He's on debut now. He was brilliant at the death in the T20 against New Zealand at Napier, and he bowled short. But the dimensions of this ground are polar opposites to the dimensions of McLean Park.
Yeah, they are. But he's got a good Yorker, as does Mullock, showing that Yorker to Tom Latham a couple of times. If you've got a good Yorker up your sleeve, a good go-to delivery like that, that gives you a lot of confidence. This over's only gone for 3 singles. It's been an excellent over at this crucial time.
Flicked away. How's the placement here? It's pretty good because there's no one out there. All the field can do is stand and watch it go for 4. So it's a good end to the over for New Zealand. It's 187 for 3.
There is something behind the line. Thank you. Fair delivery, fair delivery.
It's Washington Sundar to Kane Williamson. 187 for 3. 8 runs and over required from here. Oh, did it bounce? Did it fall short? Yes, it did. I think it was just short. Replay will show with Shikhar Dhawan.
He's had a few during the evening that have teased that mid-wicket area over the top. This one, just jamming the fingers.
Not quite all of it, Williamson, but 69 off 75. It has been an important innings from the New Zealand captain. Did that carry? Benefit of the doubt. It's falling away, Shikhar Dhawan.
Just tease that area. Would have 100 partnership, these two.
It's certainly not prohibitive now, the equation. for this New Zealand side. 101 from 96. Two of the veterans in action out here today. Still Phillips to come. If some pyrotechnics are required late in the piece, then that is up the sleeve of this New Zealand side. That's a wide. Bonus ball. Chris Gaffney in conversation, and Moshi Sundar brushes past him rather unceremoniously. Gives width. Fascinating. It's a fascinating time in this game.
The other aspect is Arshdeep Singh. His reputation was formed from death bowling in the IPL. Sensational at it.
He's got a few up the sleeve here for him too. So
He
got
has.
5.
He has got 5 left, so the Phillips factor and the Arshdeep factor going into the back end of this game. Quite defining.
It's 191 for 3. Quite the back end of the game, but Arshdeep is here all right. They need a breakthrough. And yet they know the strength of this combination for New Zealand.
One thing the England bowlers, the Indian bowlers have done, have used the angles very well. Arshdeep Singh is coming back into the pads of Williamson. Now, New Zealand innings today, a lot of deliveries were short of length, just wide enough for the Indian batsman to get enough bat on to put it through that third man or up and over the keeper. Haven't seen that much tonight. One go, I think, from Imran Malik, Williamson. Otherwise, the Indian bowlers have really been cramping the New Zealand batters up.
Example of it there, Flem, isn't it? Just how wide he gets around the wicket to the right-hander. Creates those angles beautifully. And to be able to do that to both the left-hander and the right-hander in the same over, find that angle, cramp up the batsman, it's impressive control.
That's right. You change back to over the wicket here. Just have a look at what he tries to do. Can his left arm just open up the action and spear it into the leg stump. The other thing is a very good change of pace. So he might look to use the change of pace and take it into Latham's hip. It's really important to work closely with your captain. Let's talk about the variations you're looking to use. It's always a fielding area where you're a little bit concerned as a captain. You just want to know what your bowler's trying to do. So you cover the majority of the field and get the field in the right place for the right delivery.
He's gone for that, and he's got it all. That's gone down the tunnel, halfway to Sandringham Road. Latham teeing off.
Like a knuckleball, but it was short enough Latham to pick up early. And swivel it behind the square with a good use of the wrists. The power from just getting inside the ball. Now that's not a short boundary, that's a big hit. It's wonderful control from Latham. Pressure back on Ashdeep.
Well, a much needed boundary for this New Zealand chase as well. It had been a couple of overs. That'll be wide. Just getting a bit ragged here, Arshdeep Singh. We can't forget he's on one-day international debut tonight. For all his accumulation of accolades at T20 level, tonight is a different experience. International stage, Eden Park, tough ground for the bowlers to defend. Really like that from Tom Latham. That's the stock ball.
That's the one that's caused problems all day. It's that back of length we've talked at length about. Now that's been difficult to score. It's been hard to work either side. Outfield being so close, taking a lot of the pace off the ball that's punched into the dirt. It makes an effective length.
Nicely played. Driver's back. It's a long on just for the single. And a 200 comes up for New Zealand. It's 200 for 3. From 78, there are the worms. New Zealand climbing above India there, but it had a bit of a twist in the tail, that Indian innings. Wickets notwithstanding, it was the Washington Sundar onslaught. .58 from the last 5, India. 80 from the last 7. Sundar to bowl out. Too short. Got exactly what that deserved. He dragged it down, Washington Sundar. Latham said, not on my watch.
Just gone up a level, Latham. It's 2 full shots. Authority in the last 2 overs. This one very quick into position. Bottom hand coming through. Execution spot on.
Only a 4-1 bounce over the rope. He's got lovely balance at point of contact, Flynn. He's able to hold there right on the back foot. Streaky, that one from Latham. It's hard to get the power in that shot though, isn't it? From leading right back the way that Latham has. He's had to load up a long way.
Really used the bottom hand to shovel it through. It's a great response from Washington Sundar. It's been a good spell, this. Satnam's got nothing to show for it. It's been a very good display of spin bowling. He's got good turn, he's got bounce. It's created problems.
Easy pickings for Williamson off the hip that time. Just feels like an age since we've seen these two in action. It was more than 2,000 days since the last time Kane Williamson played a one-day international at Eden Park. 2,000 days. And yet this combination just feels so eternal and composed.
It's a long time.
Well, 3 million seconds, depending on which unit of time you want to go with, whichever you prefer. Thanks, Dylan Cleaver, for those statistics. And thank you, Washington Sunda, for your 10 overs. It's 2:07 for 3. There's the bowling card for India. Steve still with 4 overs to go. He's gone at 7s. Washington Sunda 4.2 and over. Donuts in the wickets column, but a solid spell. Singh with the Yorker again, and somehow Latham has dug that out, and it rolls away to the boundary for 4.
Well, the momentum's turned truly in Latham's favour. Full delivery, angling in, everything but. Shape back in. It's 3 for 4 more for Latham. It's a bit of a heater. Last couple of overs.
Tries for the Yorker again, just misses, but so does Latham. I just wonder, Flem, whether Latham's made an active decision here. I don't know whether he's just got a couple of bad balls and he's too good to let them go, or whether he's made an active decision to say, I'm going to get us ahead of the game from here. Kane Williamson, you stay there, make sure you're there at the end. I'm just going to put us in a winning position.
He's done well. It's been the first 1 or 2 balls of the over, so they've been able to set up the rest of the over a bit of ease. It's always the case. Targeting that first ball to try and put the pressure back on the bowler.
He's persisting with the full one here, Arshdeep.
If you can convert the remainder of the over with singles, well, it's productive. If you are able to get another one away, then you get the big over. So the start of the over is always very important. The bowler wants to get into the over with obviously the opposite, a couple of dot balls or maybe a wicket. So that's always the battle. Some 3 Yorkers here. I just wonder if they're really just trying to tighten it up, get away from the variations and just do what you do best. Arshdeep Singh, the Yorker, is very effective.
I just want to put some pressure on these New Zealand batsmen who at the moment probably aren't feeling too much. In a good position, the partnership's solid, 123 now. Full again, but misses the length this time. Big chase in the outfield. Bit of a Bambi on rollerblades 5 about that fielding effort. Shardul Thakur.
Maybe a change of tactic. So the over before, looking at just back of a length, slow balls. Definitely trying to thin it down. Keep the options to a minimum.
Williamson this time gets away with one. I wonder, Flem, how much of that makes you feel as a batsman that maybe it's your day. Even the ones we're miscuing, even the ones that are finding the edges. Nothing's hitting the stumps. Maybe I'm just going to get away with it today. One of those vibes.
Until you nick one. And that all evaporates. But certainly you're trying to get on the right side of it. Often it comes down from hard work. The first part of this partnership was hard. We had to work very hard, these two. As they've grown into it, the momentum of the innings just grows, just able to turn things around.
Could be a couple here. No, they're going to settle for one. It's a good over for New Zealand, 9 from it. It's 216 for 3. .91 from 66, that's the equation, 8.27 runs per over. And Shardul, 3 overs remaining in his 10. Only maiden today, last over of this power play. 29, Shardul Bakur. Latham goes for it. Has he got enough? You bet he has. You bet he has. Tom Latham is on the launch, and suddenly the run rate's under 8 per over.
Well, it's a soft start to the over, and again Tom Latham takes advantage and sets another over up for New Zealand. Same type of shot, a short delivery, a loosener. The equation's this close. India can ill afford that.
Soft boundaries. So good square of the wicket, Tom Latham. It's almost like he gets higher up as his innings moves on. Flem looks to play square of the wicket with the sweeps early, and then really brings that pull shot and hook shot into his game as he grows in confidence in the middle. Should be wide, it is. This is not a great start. Shardul Thakur.
It's down to the business ends. A few of these players been in the field that long. Seen him bowl 10 overs. Talked about Imran Malik, his engine, getting through 10 overs, bowling at their pace. Question mark on Shardul right now.
Didn't get all of it. Might not need to. Latham, another boundary. And New Zealand now are wrestling the Tiger.
For again, he hasn't learnt. This is a heavy start to the over. These are the ones that define matches. Tom Latham has just seen him too well to be bowling there.
I go back to that last fielding effort from Shardul, and that looked like a tired man in the deep. And I know he's in the side to bowl his 10 overs. Oh, he's gone again. This is horrific. Shikhar Dhawan knows it. So does Shardul. He just looks to be bowling fatigued here, and Latham is too good for that trash.
Oh, such a tight match. Really sticks out an over like this. Yeah, there's pressure. Experienced player. He's got a good skill set. It's a terrible start to the over. First ball was a loosener that went for 6, the wide. Two length balls again.
Oh, Tommy Latham, stop it. Invoke the mercy rule.
He's gone for the big cutter, big off spinner. That still hasn't worked either. It's just the length. It's just where do you want to put it, Tom Latham? Big cutter, rolling his fingers, trying to get it away from the striking zone, trying to get Latham to hit on the offside. The problem is the length and the pace are both wrong, giving Latham time to manipulate and maneuver this field around as he races towards yet another 100.
Great to see Auckland's symbol, the road cone here. Oh, it's through again, Latham. This is incredible. Brutal and incredible.
Well, this time he gets the line right, but naturally the captain's protecting the areas where Tom Latham has just been hitting him. Gets it across the off stump, gets it wide. Takes the outside edge, and when things aren't rolling for you, it's always going to find the gap.
151 the partnership now for Latham and Williamson. And Shardul Thakur is under the pump. 6 wide, 4-4-4-4. Tom Latham on 99. Wide again. The nightmare continues. Shardul Thakur had bowled 5 overs for 14 runs. He's yet now to close out his 8th over, and he's now 1 for 53. It's tough. That is tough. Yes, there it is, Tom Latham. His 7th one-day international century, his 2nd against India. Take a bow.
What an innings of 2 halves. Second 50 of just 25 balls. No doubt about it. He turboed his way to 100 with that over from Shardul Thakur. Absolutely brilliant, Tom Latham. Big finish, not in runs, but in emotion. Super 100.
A wonderful picture of 2 fantastic servants of the game for New Zealand, and Tom Latham, this unassuming leader, rightly celebrates a wonderful moment, yet another wonderful moment in his career to date. What a knock it has been. And the partnership is now the highest, 4th wicket partnership for New Zealand against India in New Zealand. A record previously held by Ken Rutherford and Martin Kroll. 1990, their previous best at Carisbrook. May she rest in peace.
And the bowling change at the southern end. One mark into the attack.
Is there a crueler game ever created? Shadow Thakur must be hoping that some volcanic vent opens up in the middle of Eden Park and swallows him whole right now. Latham continues.
What it highlights, no matter what sort of day you've had, this comes back to the job you've got to do next. And if you're just off a fraction, international cricket, you can pay a price. That is a defining over. In a tight game, you'll look back and that will stick out. That is a massive skyscraper. That is the Sky Tower, no doubt.
42 runs off the last 19 balls. Tom Latham with the pedal to the metal here. Williamson hesitates.
The thing is, he can't get swallowed up by this volcano, Scott. He's still got overs to bowl. Only having 5 bowlers on the field. The 6th bowler, Shreyas Iyer, which is part-time off-spin. So his mental resilience, his ability to come back is still going to be important. He has to respond. He can't hide, you're right. He's got to get back on the horse.
Malik played down to 3rd. Another easy single for Williamson, who looks very comfortable now, rotating the strike for Latham. Well, here it is, Flem. Got a loosen at a start. Latham said, OK, let's tone set here. Then a wide. Pulled away. Off the hip. Clubbed away. Cut through. Threaded the needle. Another wide. And then 100 up. 25 runs off the over. And we're back to singles here, almost in an attempt to settle everyone down.
The other thing it does, it just sucks the life out of his teammates. Regardless, they know they've got a close contest. They're in the contest. No fault of their own. They just watch as a huge chunk of the game is taken away.
Well, also to add another layer to this series, of course, it's ICC Super League points up for grabs as well. Top 8 sides after the Super League go through to the World Cup automatically. India have already qualified by virtue of having gained enough points so far. Not that I'd suggest in any way that they're taking this series lightly. And their hosts, that helps. So it shapes as a crucial series for this New Zealand side, fast running out of series. Full toss this time. Two, 4, 7 for 3.
New Zealand 247 for 3, and the crowd is going bananas. There is one particular guy I'd like to introduce you to. Look at this guy, what a guy! What a guy!
Williamson just taking a big step forward, clipping that one away.
It's not enough time for India. They can't just run out the clock. 60 runs with 59 runs to win. Talked a little bit about the batting order of New Zealand. Phillips to come, then Satner. He hasn't featured in the T20s any substantial contribution. So they've got to just regroup. They were stunned by that over. They've got to regroup. They now can grab a couple of these New Zealand wickets. They still have 50 odd to go. There's still a contest here.
They have to break this partnership, there's no doubt about it. If Latham and Williamson are there at the end, I would suggest this game is going in New Zealand's favour, and I don't think that's going out on a limb at all. They have to break it, have to find a way through. Fielder in place, fine leg up.
I wonder if this is the time to take a risk. Darwin's been good tonight. Time to take a risk. One of the fielders up, give a slip in. Let's try and grab a wicket now while there's still runs in the bank.
Comes down. It's Latham who takes the risk and gets away with it. Top spinner from Shahal. Wide of Shubman Gill. But not by much. And that is wide, officially. Chris Gaffney. I feel Arshdeep's the bet here, Flynn. I think he's looked likeliest. Yorker into the left-handed Latham. Latham's dug it out a couple of times. Certainly looked the most threatening.
And that brings up 250 runs for the BLACKCAPS.
250 on the board for the BLACKCAPS. Run rate required under 7, 56 from 49. Latham imperious in the back half of this innings. On the sweep again, and he'll take a single to finish the over. 42 gone here at Eden Park. It's 252 for 3.
Partnership between Latham and Williamson. 164 from 140 put New Zealand in a position of real strength.
Still running in hard. Umran Malik, I think around that 90-mile-an-hour mark. I've seen that a number of times. That length hit Tom Latham on the hip. Just done him for pace. It's impressive.
Yeah, what have you made of the young fast bowler tonight, Bondi, on debut? He's picked up 2 wickets. Hit some good numbers in terms of speed as well.
Yeah, I think that's impressive. He hasn't played a lot of cricket, so to maintain that top-end pace over 10 overs is a good effort. think the thing that stands out for me, and probably similar to the IPL, is the lack of a change of pace. Because he bowls so fast, if he had a good deceptive change of pace, it would make him such a more dangerous bowler.
I guess that's one of the variations that bowling coaches will look to. No ball, so it's going to be a free hit. Was a wide, which probably would have been a better result. And now it's a free hit for Tom Latham. Showing he has a good Yorker as well. Executed that pretty well. This is the sort of delivery where you might take pace off the ball. Straight up for 6, up and over the keeper. It's gone a long way back. Not sure what you call that shot, but it's gone all the way for 6.
It's the straight drive back over the keeper that goes 30 rows back. Unbelievable. That's the pace of Umran Malik. Tom Latham clearing the front leg, looking to heave it away.
I like that, a straight drive over the keeper's head. Gee, it's gone a long way back. Look at the reaction of the bowler. His hands has gone for 6. Well, it's a free hit. Front foot mistake that's been costly. Again, an example where perhaps a slower ball would have been useful. But sure, that will come in terms of the repertoire for this young fast bowler. Oh, that's good pace through Latham this time.
Yeah, when he's bowled that length, he's been incredibly difficult to play, and he has bowled a number of balls there. I also notice with an inexperienced bowler is when there's been a misfield or something's gone wrong, he's tended to follow up with a bouncer, and then after that there's a Yorker. So that, an experienced bowler can sometimes bowl in a pattern. So there's plenty to work with. Important that he has obviously his senior players and his captain alongside him as well, talking him through it.
Just wonder whether India can bring another fielder inside the ring. Bondi try and squeeze and force a mistake from one of these two players. They have to break this partnership if they're going to have any chance of winning this game. Before it starts getting a bit too close, still 47 runs out. Now might be the time to try that.
Yeah, and you also have your mid-wicket covers are sitting back a little bit, and as the partnerships develop, even the men inside the ring have sat back. It's opened up a couple of gaps batsmen have found. You've got to keep squeezing in on those ones.
That's in the air and in the gap for 4. Just what Shane Bond was talking about. That fielder was deeper, which made the gap a touch bigger. And the New Zealand captain found the gap, picks up 4.
This shot from Kane Williamson. New Zealand's highest ever partnership at Eden Park. There's been some partnership between these two players. Now at 176 of only 146 balls.
Passing Martin Crowe and Jeff Howarth back in 1984. That record stood for some time. Record breakers, these two for New Zealand. Yeah, good running too. That's been a key part of this partnership. They run well together. Good over for New Zealand. 43 bowled, 265 for 3. One big skyscraper there for New Zealand, and over went for 25, but there's been a nice consistency right throughout the innings. He's put them well ahead of the game. 42 from 42. Oh, there's some turn and bounce for Chahal. Just chipped back over the bowler. Perhaps unintentionally, but it worked.
I've seen this a couple of times where the ball stood up on the wicket and the leading edge found. Williamson's had a little bit of luck chipping mid-wicket, one just in front of the Indian skipper, and again managing to find the gap, chipping it over Chahal.
It's generally been from that shorter length, hasn't it, which has allowed the batter enough time to actually get enough bat on it to get it over the infield. He's been good on the sweep. It's one of his favourite shots, Tom Latham. Nicely played. He's just looked more comfortable in this format today, Bondi, I have to say, the New Zealand captain Kane Williamson. He's just found his natural tempo, which suits one-day international cricket. It's allowed him a little bit more time. Hasn't been as rushed in terms of a strike rate. Just looks so comfortable, 50-over cricket.
Yeah, he's an incredible one-day player. To be fair, this tempo is a similar tempo that he's playing T20 cricket at. But because of the nature of the game, and because he's bats so deep and averages 50, maybe Latham to play that innings around, and that's why New Zealand is so good. New Zealand is obviously looking for someone to replace Taylor's runs, averaging close to 50 as well. So now that Latham can come into this position today. Number 5 for New Zealand. We've tried Daryl Mitchell. Simon Latham have to bump up one into that spot.
Use of the feet.
New Zealand are lucky. You think they've got Neesham, Bracewell, left-handers, Mitchell, Phillips. A nice combination. They can bat that left and right-hand combination, which has been difficult for India through this middle to find that consistent line and length once they got set.
Hopeful. 44 overs bowled, 269 for 3. Good crowd in here at Eden Park tonight. Seeing wonderful New Zealand batting performance. Good chase. Good time to chase over 300. It's never easy. It's been this partnership between Williamson and Latham that's really set the tone. Arshdeep Singh on one-day international debut. About to start his 8th over. Still looking for his first wicket. Oh, what a shot that is. That is crunched through the covers from Latham. Bit of a soft half volley to start the spell, and it's been dispatched for 4.
Tom Latham's been in imperious form. It's over-pitched. Again, the placement perfect from Latham. Continues to be a tough day at the office for Arshdeep Singh. Again, you question cover, whether he could come in another 5 metres and just take some of that angle away from Tom Latham. Standing deep. Good use of pace. Can't beat point. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because we just come from the T20 series where India have been dominant against New Zealand in New Zealand over the last couple of tours. New Zealand, the #1 ranked ODI side in the world, India #3. Of course, New Zealand coming off 3-0 loss to Australia, the Chapel Hadley in recent times. So looking for some confidence, but they just look so comfortable at home in these conditions. Oh, that's top edge. How far has that gone? Tell you what, it's gone a long way back.
It's up into the stand. Another one from Latham. Great use of pace, using power as well. Just not working for Arshdeep Singh.
And that's been an area where Tom Latham's peppered all day. That and backward point. Any time he's been able to just swivel with that pull shot behind square on the leg side, he's taken full toll and does so again.
Well, he's not known as a six hitter, but that's his 5th six of the innings, along with 15 fours. So he's managed to manipulate, hit the ball to the boundaries on this Eden Park surface rather nicely. Now mid-wicket's gone back to the edge of the circle. So there's an easy one there if Latham wants it. Oh, he's going to hit it hard down the ground, scamper through.
Darwin just sitting on the circle, so Latham was a comfortable run, but in the end ends up rather ungainly. Obviously knew the ball wasn't going to hit the stumps. There's always a danger running off the pitch at Eden Park. One sliding your back, but also just that sort of damp in a circle.
Yeah, there's a lot of dangers, Bondi. Cleaning his gloves off. There's been some knock on the New Zealand number 5. Sort of worth bringing the field up and actually making the players hit through or over, taking that risk. Short cover in play now for Arshdeep Singh. He's going to come around the wicket to the right-handed Williamson. Just works the ball to the leg side. Nice placement. He's looking for 2. Will only get 1.
Haven't really done a lot wrong. It seems funny to have a game where teams have scored 300. I didn't think New Zealand did a lot wrong. I thought they bowled pretty well. They dropped a couple of chances and perhaps didn't bowl as well to Washington Sundar. India were very disciplined for 25 overs. If anything, just that inexperience in their bowling has been exposed once New Zealand got a partnership established.
And the fact that they've only got 5 bowlers as well, that 6th option in these situations can be quite handy. Goes full, flicked away. Down to fine leg for a single. 13 runs from that Arshdeep Singh over. 282 for 3.
25 runs required off the last 5 overs of the game for the BLACKCAPS. And the BLACKCAPS fans, I think we need to hear the voice of the boys home. And the head of the BLACKCAPS. Let us hear. Make some noise. For the boys of the BLACKCAPS.
25 more runs required by New Zealand, 5 overs to get them. It should be a cakewalk from here. Jamal continuing. There's a lot. 3. Oh, finally.
Interesting, isn't it, that spin hasn't really been a factor on the surface, even though it's been turning in the second innings, Bondi. But Mitchell Santner, none for 56 from his 10 overs, and the leg spinner Charles struggled as well with no wickets next to his name.
I think the challenge is it's difficult to flight the ball because the boundaries are so short straight. So there's been turn, but it's been that back of a length turn, which isn't it as threatening of bringing a batsman forward and getting an edge to a slip perhaps.
Is that where you have to be a bit braver as a bowler? Especially if you want to bring slip into play as well off the front foot.
You probably do, but we saw one example of Washington Sundar toss it up and Kane Williamson put him 15 rows back, and that's the challenge. They'll still be able to toss the ball up but find that length, but it's challenging. 50-metre boundary. But we just haven't seen that courage from the bowlers to do that, the spin bowlers in particular.
Slower but short, pulled away by Latham. Pulled away, 1 bounce 4. What a way to bring up the 200 partnership between these two players. It's been a classy knock from the left and right hander, touch short, and Latham wasn't going to miss out.
That's brilliant, man. It's a record partnership on this ground. 162 balls, an incredible effort. That's 27 overs of batting.
It's a serious partnership, isn't it? They go past. Oh, it's nicely played. Just run it down fine for 4. The full repertoire's coming out now from Tommy Latham, and India have no answer.
Just using the pace, just so fine. Back of the bat, didn't even worry about turning the bat. I don't often say this, it hits the artificial turf down here at the southern end and it raced away.
It's clever. They've gone past MS Dhoni and Suresh Raina back at the 2015 World Cup against Zimbabwe. Record's been broken left, right and centre here by these two in this partnership. Oh, that's swept hard and flat. There's a bit of a gap. There goes for 4. Oh, the young fella Mullock had a bit of work to do, but getting some grief from the fans on the embankment. It went fast, it went flat, and he couldn't get across and pull it off. 296 for 3. New Zealand doing this in style. 11 needed, 4 overs, plenty of time. Things just starting to fall apart a little bit for India here. Oh, the third bounce spin. It's terrible.
It's traditional fast bowling fielding, isn't it? Some work to do on his fielding for the young fella as well.
Everyone's aware of the second bounce spin, but that was the third bounce, which maybe just surprised Mullock.
He was a little bit stiff there.
Oh, he looked stiff getting down that low to try and pick the ball up. Fast bowler. I think there'll be a lot of things that Shikhar Dhawan will be happy about from this game, but there'll also be a few things he will feel that they've just let slip and perhaps missed an opportunity. Record partnership on a number of fronts. Shardul Thakur back into the attack.
It seemed weird, but it's almost been an advantage for Tom Latham not being around the T20 setup. He's been away playing domestic cricket for Canterbury, playing first-class cricket, Ford Trophy, scored a lot of runs, spent time at the wicket. And he's just transferred that form from the domestic level. He's obviously an experienced international player and just seamlessly come back into this team and be New Zealand's best performer today.
Yeah, you have to say the preparation's been good. Happy coach Gary Stead, smile on the face. Glenn Phillips waiting to bat. Probably didn't think he'd be waiting this long. He might not get a hit tonight, which is unusual when you're chasing 300. Generally you use most of your resources to get a total like that, but it's been so efficient from New Zealand. Such a big partnership. Players coming and going here. Thirds come up. Shikhar Dhawan's waving and gesturing. He's going back to long off. Walking backwards. Plenty of gaps now. No pressure at all for these two players. Pace off. Should get 2 because it's a long throw from that mid-wicket boundary.
Yeah, there's been a sense for me when New Zealand's really started to assert themselves. India have just sat back a little bit, sat back in the field, sort of waited for the game to come. And in the end, it's unravelled a little bit. New Zealand had a canter home here, potentially with a couple of overs to spare. It's been the nature of the day. Very difficult to stop a partnership once they've got going. Not easy to start with the bounce here, but once a partnership's established, do some real damage, and New Zealand have done that.
Pulled away. It brings up a new best for Tom Latham in one-day international cricket, beating his previous best of 140 versus the Netherlands earlier in the year. New highest score. He's done it in some style.
That's an impressive record he's got. In Test cricket, 700. It's not easy to do when you're batting in number 5.
Use, just opening the face. That's an important shot for Kane Williamson. You feel when he's playing well, he plays it nice and late and just dabs it down to third. And that shot has come back.
Now, Latham in the end is just overshadowed. Can't speak highly enough of the way Kane Williamson's played. The tempo he's maintained throughout the innings. He's never let the run rate get too far ahead. He's rotated the strike, and Latham's been able to come out and play freely. Just in the background, Williamson's just gone about his work. It's been an excellent innings from the New Zealand captain.
These two just complement one another really nicely in terms of their game plans, the shots they possess, the skills they have. It's a good Yorker. Probably haven't seen enough of that from the Indian bowlers at times. They've gone length and they've been punished. It's an interesting one. Tomorrow we move south to Hamilton, where game 2 is on Sunday. Bondi, and again, it's another unique cricket ground with small boundaries and precision needed by the bowlers, because the margin of error is so small again. Oh, that's hammered to mid-wicket. Hammered for 4. Classy shot. New Zealand cantering home in style. $305 for 3. Final rights here at Eden Park. Impressive display by New Zealand. Just 2 more runs needed. And Tom Latham has been in full control of this whole innings. Picking off boundaries at ease. If there's a gap, he'll find it. And he'll find it with some class. Enjoyed by the fans who've got their money's worth tonight. Been seen. For 64, about to start his ninth over. Love a wicket on debut. Get underway, Bondi.
Yeah, he'll keep running in. He's that sort of character. It's been a tough day on his debut. 8 overs for 64, about a wicket. It's a learning curve. It's a unique ground, Eden Park, playing on these sort of dimensions. It'll be far better for the hit out.
Eased away for 4. New Zealand win in style. Their 50th ODI victory over India. First nation that they've recorded that stat, and it's those 2 players there. New Zealand captain Kane Williamson ends up 94 not out. Tom Latham 145 not out. A partnership of 221. And in the end, New Zealand win comfortably by 7 wickets. A clinical chase here at Eden Park.
Yeah, when you look at these two coming together, 88 for 3 in the 19th over, requiring over 7 and over to get New Zealand home, and to win the end, win by, well, 11 balls to spare with 7 wickets in hand.